Hey guys, peace be upon you. Just want to give you a brief introduction to Islam, why it's valuable, why it's the best way of life, the best system above all others, why you should consider it, how it will help you. So the first thing we should ask ourselves is, why are we alive, right? That's what led me to Islam. I'm 29. I'm going to make another video about how I became a Muslim. I grew up, atheist, agnostic, went through the New Age phase, a bunch of stuff, and why this is the best system. So if you're looking for the best way to live your life, if you know that we are here for a reason and the universe didn't just make itself for no reason, and that our lives are just a giant waste of time and everything gets erased at death, because that's ridiculous. If you know that the universe is too amazing to be just coincidence, and you want to know how to be the best at life, if you want to know the definition of success and how to live the most valuable life and how to be rewarded, how to be sure, how to find peace of mind, then consider Islam. Use your intellect, use your reasoning. That's what attracted me to Islam, is that it encourages us to think, literally. It says to think, to reason, to reflect, to look for evidence, not just to follow blindly. And that's what's great about this. The more you think about it, the more you actually look into it and you criticize it sincerely and humbly, not just, arrogant criticism or anything, just to, criticize. But if you actually have legitimate questions, the more you look into it, then inshallah, God willing, that's what that means, you will gain understanding. If you're a Muslim, your acknowledgement gets reinforced the more you question. That's why I love Islam. The more I compare it to other systems, other ways of life, definitions of success, ways to live the best life, the more it allows me to see the perfection of Islam and the flaws in the other systems. And this isn't a bias. It's not like I'm being selective and saying, well, because I'm already a Muslim, I'm just going to find what I like. It's not that. I've actually questioned Islam many times, many things about, what if I'm following the wrong system? What if Allah is not the name of God? Stuff like that. Because I was worried about saying Allah. What if it's just a deity and I'm not actually worshiping God? Because that's, I want to worship the Creator, the one who created me, right? That's the root of Islam. It's monotheism, submitting to God alone, doing good, right? That's the root of Islam. How could you live a better life? There's just nothing better than that. Being appreciative of the Creator, the one who made everything, sincerely, and being righteous, being a good person. Isn't it obvious that's what our Creator wants us to do? What could possibly be better than that? If there's something that's better than that, then, if someone gives it to me, I'll openly consider it. But I've considered so many different systems, and it's just... So, that's what monotheism is. Allah just means God in Arabic, just to clear that up. So, if you want to serve your Creator, and by serve I mean prostrate, serving Him, there's multiple ways, by doing good work, just being appreciative, asking Him for help. If you want to refer to the Creator and nothing else, that's what Islam is, submission to God alone. It says you can call on Him with the best names. Call upon Allah or call on the Gracious, whichever it is you call on, to Him are the best names. You can call Him Allah, the Gracious, God. He knows, He's fully aware, He's the most wise. So, Allah is just God in Arabic, and I like Allah because of how it sounds, even though that name is not a personal name above others. We don't say, well, that's His one personal name, because He's God. To Him are the best names. He doesn't have like a family name that His uncle gave Him or something. He doesn't have an uncle. Or I guess that doesn't make sense, uncle, but he doesn't have a dad or mom that named him, you know what I mean? It's to Him are the best names. Glory be to Allah, the glorious, the most high, the almighty, the most wise, and all these names are relevant, He's the most generous, the most loving, most kind, most forgiving, Lord of the worlds. So if you call upon Him, He knows who you serve. That's Islam, it's monotheism. We serve God alone, we do good work. So why should you be a Muslim then? Why should you consider it? Well, if you consider yourself to be humbly intelligent, if you reason, you can think, and you question things, you don't just follow blindly. If you're looking for what the definition of success was, like I thought, why am I here? I don't care about, the purpose of life is just to make money and get a house and then to die. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be the best at life. I was like, what do I need to do to be the best? How can I live the best life? I know I'm here. I don't want to kill myself. So how can I be awesome? I thought, what can I earn? What can I work towards? And the idea of just a house and money was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'll probably work towards that. But that's it? That's why we're here? Just to have fun and die? Or, maybe do some deeds and then die? No, the success is really doing good work because there's a continuation. We'll return to Allah on the hereafter. He'll give us what we earn. If we do good, He will multiply our reward. If we do wrong, and we reject, then we get what we earn, which would be retribution, if we're criminals. And it's only just, It's not like the criminals are going to be treated the same as those who do good. So I just want to read a little bit from the Quran. I recommend the Quran or Reformist translation. Once again, use your reasoning and your intellect. That's what really attracted me to this, is the author constantly saying, think, question, ask if it makes sense. And it does. That's what's great about this. The more you ask sincerely, the more understanding you'll gain, and the stronger your acknowledgement becomes, and you see why it's the best system. When you read this, it gives you knowledge and wisdom above all systems. It will change the way you view the world for the better. It's like you were just crawling on the ground, and after you read this, you're a hawk in the sky. You can see above all the other systems. You can see the way people talk, and when they say certain ideas, you already know what they're saying. I mean, obviously, you can't assume sometimes. So it gives you a perspective above everything. It gives you knowledge. There's so much wisdom in this too. Just it tells you how to view things and how to live your life. It's called the Quran, a Reformist translation by Edip Yüksel. I really admire Edip. He's a great author. I mean, this is just a translation. It's blasphemy to manipulate the Quran knowingly. And he really does. It's actually a couple people that translated this. But they take the time to make sure it's accurate. There's a lot of translations where they add, Muhammad's name or something to it, or their own interpretation, but he keeps it pure. He also has explanations, insight into some of the meaning of the ayah that will give you wisdom too. Really interesting book. It's fun to read. It's really beautiful, so I'm going to read a little bit. As for evidence supporting it, common criticism is circular logic. They say, you believe it's true just because it says it's true. Sorry, I had to make sure the video didn't stop. No, it's not circular logic. There is evidence supporting, like a mathematical encoding, which I'll make another video about, inshallah. So we don't just believe it just because, because it says, hey, believe this is true, right? I mean, it does say this is the book in which there is no doubt, but there's evidence to support it as well, right? Because God doesn't expect us to believe blindly. So let me just read a little bit, just so you can get an introduction. And it's the most valuable system. When you actually consider it, you'll see the purity, right? This is called Bismillah. It's the opening. It just means in the name of Allah. So it's in the opening of every chapter except for one, but there's a reason behind that. In the name of Allah, actually. So the verse is called Al-Fatiha. We say this every time we pray. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the compassionate. Praises to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the gracious, the compassionate, Master of the day of judgment. You alone we serve. You alone we ask for help. Guide us through the straight way, the way of those whom you blessed, not of those who are in anger, nor of the strayers. And this is the second. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the compassionate. Alif, Lam, Mim. It's 3 letters. That relates to the encoding. And just think about the meaning of these ayah as I'm reading these and what they're trying to tell you. There's a lot of wisdom you can get from it. Those who acknowledge, this is the book in which there is no doubt, a guide for the conscientious. Those who acknowledge the unseen and observe the contact prayer, and from our provisions to them, they spend. The contact prayer is talking about prostrating 3 times a day. It's salah prayer. Those who acknowledge what was sent down to you and what was sent down before you, and regarding the hereafter, they are certain. These are the ones guided by their Lord, and these are the winners. As for those who do not appreciate, whether you warn them or do not warn them, they will not acknowledge. Allah has sealed their hearts and their ears, and over their eyes are covers. They will incur great retribution. Among the people are those who say, we acknowledge Allah on the last day, but they do not acknowledge. They seek to deceive Allah and those who acknowledge, but they only deceive themselves without noticing. In their hearts is a disease, so Allah increases their disease, and they will have a painful retribution for what they have denied. Now keep in mind, Allah is not forcing them to be ingrates. When it says He increases their disease, the reason why they're misguided is because of what they have done. It's because of their own actions. If they're a criminal, they don't deserve to be Muslim. You have to be fortunate to be guided. So it's not Allah that's forcing them to be misguided. He's misguiding them because they don't deserve to acknowledge because of what they've chosen, what they've done, their attitude, or whatever reason. If they are told, do not make evil in the land, they say, but we are the reformers. No, they are the evildoers, but they do not perceive. This relates to things like Israel, who think they're doing good and that they're chosen by God, but they're doing evil. If they are told, acknowledge as the people have acknowledged, they say, shall we acknowledge as the fools have acknowledged? No, they are the fools, but they do not know. If they come across those who have acknowledged, they say, we acknowledge. And when they are alone with their devils, they say, we were with you, we were only mocking. Allah mocks them and leaves them prolonged in their transgression. These are the ones who have purchased straying for guidance. Their trade did not profit them, nor were they guided. Their example is like one who lights a fire, so when it illuminates what is around him, Allah takes away his light and leaves him in darkness, not seeing. Deaf, dumb, and blind, they will not revert. Or like a storm from the sky, in it are darkness, thunder, and lightning. They place their fingers in their ears from stunning noises out of fear of death, and Allah is aware of the ingrates. The lightning nearly snatches away their sight. Whenever it lights the path, they walk in it, and when it becomes dark for them, they stand. Had Allah willed, He would have taken away their hearing and their sight. Allah is capable of all things. O people, serve your Lord, who has created you and those before you, that you may be conscientious. The one who makes the land a habitat and the sky a structure, and He sent down from the sky water with which He brought out fruit as a provision for you. So do not make any equals with Allah while you now know. If you are in doubt as to what we have sent down to our servant, bring a chapter like this, and call upon your witnesses other than Allah if you are truthful. It's just interesting to read. The articulation is beautiful. It has so much wisdom and knowledge. I highly suggest you check it out. If you're thinking about joining Islam, that's what a Muslim is. That's what Islam is. You know, we're people of intelligence. We do good work. We encourage being righteous. It says multiple times in here, free the slaves. God orders justice and goodness. Help the needy. Give to your relatives and to the poor. Do good work. Avoid sin and transgression. Do not be aggressors. Seek peace. So check it out. I hope that gives you a good intro. I'll make another video talking about the encoding and you know, how I came to Islam too. So thank you. If you like this, please share it with your friends. You know, I'm trying to get more subscribers, of course, because I think these videos will be helpful. And thanks for watching, and thank you guys for subscribing too. You know, every subscriber matters. So let me know what you think. Maybe leave a comment or something. Peace be upon you.